Masechta Makos Daf Yud Daled Amud Aleph, the third line from the top. Now the Gemara brings a third day in in addition to Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva. We learned from Rabbi Yisrael, Rabbi Yitzchak, Chayav Kris Ba'Klal Hoyo. All the Chayav Krises were already mentioned in one pasuk. Why did the Torah single out the pasuk of Achaisai? Obviously, to teach us, to tell us that by Achaisai that he only gets Kadosh, not Malchus. So Rabbanan, according to Rabbanan, meaning Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Akiva, who argue, according to Rabbanan, who hold, meaning Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Akiva, who argue on Rabbi Yitzchak and the Bryce and hold that even Chayav Krisis are included in those that do get Malchus. So Kodesh, that the Torah that singled out the Kodesh by the pasuk of Achesei, why did they sing out a special pasuk for Achesei? And the Gemara, Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva hold the reason why they sing out Kodesh by Achesei, Kedei Lechalik, to be Mechalik Israel is to teach us that they're going to be Chayiv for each and every one on its own if it was done by Halamachas. So Rabbi Yochanan, and like Rabbi Yochanan and Masechta Krisus, there he mentions numerous Chayav Krisus, meaning 36 of Chayav Krisus, in order to teach us Sheim Asan Kolum Helam Echad, that if he did them all with one Helam, V'Sheige Chayva Kolachs V'Achas. Nevertheless, he's going to be Chayva coming for each and every one, and that's what we learn out from Achisei. Zok the Gemara, Rabbi Yishmael, Rabbi Yitzchak, according to Rabbi Yitzchak, that darshans are different. He darshans from Achisei to tell you that there's only Kodesh and no Malchus. How does he know that he can, if he does it Behelam Achas, that he's going to be Chai for each and every one? And the Gemara Nafkalim on Kal V'Chayim, he learns out from the Kal V'Chayim. Not that we learn from the Mishnah in Krisus as well. Rabbi Akiva says, Shaltis, Rabbi Gamil, Rabbi Yeshua Beitlis, and is Rabbi Gamil and Rabbi Yeshua in a place where they sell meat, Shal Imoum, the name of a city, says the Gemara of a name of a city, in the time, Shaholcho, Likach, Behema Lemishta, at the time when they went there to buy a behemoth for the Sudas Chasna B'nai, for the son of Shoyam Gamil, and the shaila was one who lives with a sister, which is the sister of the father, which is the sister of the mother, in one shot, one with Behalam Echad, not knowing, without a yedi in between, without knowledge in between, that it's awesome. What's the din? Chayiv al kulan. He's only going to be chayiv on all of them one chatas, or he's going to be chayiv for each and every one a separate chatas. This shaila I haven't heard. But I did hear a different din from which you can learn out this din. Somebody who lives with 5 women, which are nidas, without any knowledge in between, that it's also shechayiv. He's going to be high for each and every one. So we can learn out from this case. It's one love. Nevertheless, he's going to be high for all the needs that he lived with. He's going to be high for each and every one, a separate punishment. Where somebody lives with his sister, which is the sister of the father and the mother, these are 3 separate lavim that the Torah mentions, like Kol Shekain. Shouldn't he for sure be chayiv 3 chatois? So that's how he learns out from Kal V'Chayim that you're going to be chayiv achatz for each and every one. What about the Rabbanan? Why didn't they learn out from this Kal V'Chayim? Why did they need the pasuk achos? Why did Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva have to learn it out from this that the Torah singled out achos? Why couldn't they learn out from the Kal V'Chayim that the Yishmael gave? And you want a Kal V'Chayim pretty cool, because according to Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Yishmael, it was abgeschlagen in this Kal V'Chayim. Mal nida shekein kufim muchalakim. A nida is considered different bodies. It's not considered. He lived with different people, so that's why you're going to be chai for each and every one. And over here, it was one person. Ulidach nami, correcting your mother, even according to Rabbi Yitzchak, hi, vade kavachema prichli. This kavachema should be abgeschlagen because you can't learn out many lavan of one guf from 5 gufim of the same lav. Elanafka le ma'achis in the sefer. Rather, he learns it out from achisai of the sefer. What does it say in the sefer by achisai? So he brings down the pasuk. It says that the pasuk, we'll soon bring it down, that the pasuk didn't have to write achisai in the end of the pasuk. L'chayv al achisai b'asov b'asina, to teach us that extra achisai in the sefer, to tell you they're going to be l'chayv for a sister who is also the daughter of the father and the daughter of the mother. Even though you can learn it out from if somebody lives with a sister which is the daughter of the father and the mother, you can learn out with a kal v'chayim madach if it's only the daughter of the father or it's only the daughter of the mother. You're going to be chayiv malchus, kares, for sure. If it's the daughter of the father and the mother, both for sure should be leima to tell you that you cannot learn out the punishment from a kal v'chayim. V'idach Rabbi Yitzchak, from where does he learn out to be mechayiv on a sister which is the daughter of the father and the mother? And you want to eat by saying gama einish ma'asada. Others say he learns with a mamatzino. Just like by Hazara, the Torah didn't differentiate between a sister which is only the daughter of a father or only the daughter of a mother and a sister which is the daughter of a father and a mother. The Torah specifies it, the Hazara over there. So we can learn out, B'negei to Einish, even though the Torah doesn't specify that she a daughter of a father and a mother, but we learn out with a mamatzino that there's going to be the same punishment. If you want, we can learn it out. We learn it out from the achisai of the reisha. How are you going to learn out from the achisai of the reisha? Because the Torah could have written isha sheikach. I'm sorry, it's kiyikach is bas imay. You didn't have to say isha sheikach is achisai. That's all extra. The word achisai is extra. So that's how he learns that Basima, if she's the achisai, who's the daughter of the father and the mother, that it's going to be a punishment of kares. So what did they learn out from the extra word achisai? He's come to tell you that if somebody mimics the making the ingredients of the oil of Moshe Rabbeinu, and he also smears himself with that oil, he's going to be chayiv 2 separate karbanos chatas, because there's a law for each one, a law for each one individually, and since there's a law for each one individually, so you're going to be chayiv for each and every one separately. Mashain came, but even though the kares is written one kares for both of them from a fatim and sach, but it's coming to tell you that it's going to be chayiv come for each and every one. According to Rabbi Yitzchak, from what do we know? Somebody who mimics the shemen and he smears himself, that they get two separate kabbanis. Rabbi Yitzchak Savalak Rabbi Lazar Amar Rabbi Yeshaya. Amar Rabbi Lazar Amar Rabbi Yeshaya. Rabbi Lazar, when the name of Rabbi Yeshaya, there's a cloud of kol makom she'atamitz shnei lavim v'kares echad. In any place where you find that the Torah specifies it as 2 separate lavim, but one kares is mentioned for both of them, like here by Mefatim and Sach, chalukim hin lekarbon. They bring 2 separate kabbanis. If you want, I can answer. He doesn't hold like Rabbi Lazar. And he learns out the chilik. There's 2 separate chatoyes, Mefatim and Sach, from the pasuk v'isha she'ishkav as isha dava. So that pasuk is extra because the punishment of kares we already know from the pasuk that mentions by Nida in Acharei Ma'is, which is earlier. It's Perek Yud Ches versus the Isha Dava, which is in Perek Chav. So why do we need the Isha Dava? The extra pasuk comes to tell you that since we don't need a father, yes, so we use the klal. One of the midas in inyan. If you can't use the yita for its own inyan. Neyu le'inyan achos. So we use it for this inyan to tell you that if you have two lavin separately, even though it's one kaddish, that you're going to be chai for each and every one, a separate one, like for sach and mafatim, separate kabbanis chatas. What did they learn out from the yita of the pasuk of Isha Dava? That pasuk, he needs that pasuk like Rabbi Yechon. Rabbi Yechon is Rabbi Shimon Yechai. Rabbi Yechon said the name of Shimon Yechai. So from what do we know that Isha is not tummy till the blood goes out the normal way from through her eva, and not through a cesarean through the stomach. Like it says in the pasuk, from this pasuk of Isha that extra pasuk, the gilas avosa, and it says the person, a woman whose blood will flow, and then it says the next day it's gilas avosa. So it's mashma has to be derech herva that she should become tummy. Till that Isha does not become tummy until the blood flows through her eva, which is the normal way. The tummy shachas hegdish says a tummy that ate hegdish, or one who enters the mikdash tummy. There's a chiva malchus. So the Gemara is mavar the makar. Bishleim says it's understood how Mishnah Habala mikdash tummy. One who enters the mikdash, the base of mikdash while being tummy. Ksiva einish. The Torah writes its punishment of kares. Uksiva azhara, and the Torah gives the warning, the law, from which you can learn out the chiva malchus. But and where do we see that? Einish. We see the punishment by a tummy maze that enters the base of mikdash. It says, "Es mishkin Hashem timei v'nichlasa." The mishkan of Hashem he has impure, and he should have kares. As how what do we see? Shnama bayat tzuru azov v'tamei maze. It says, "Amichutz lamachna tishachem lo yitamu es machaneya." So it says, "Befeish a warning for a tummy maze." Ela tummy sha'achas ha'hegdish. But a tummy that ate hegdish, where do we see that there's malchus? I find it's understood punishment of kares. The Torah says befesh the sieve. It says a soul that will eat from the zavach shlamim, and he's still tummy. He gets kares. But where does it say that? How could you be nechayim malchus? The Ishlach says we learn out from the Isha Tmei Betumas Leda. We learn out by where it says V'chol Kodesh Leisiga. From that passage we learn out that a Tam Shachal Hegdish the Hazhara. Leisiga is going even on Achila. Rabbi Yechon argues V'matane Badla Asya Tumasa. That Badla learned it out from Exeda Shava. It says Tumase Ksiv Hacha. It says by Uksiv Hasan by somebody who enters the base of Mikdash Tamei, it says Tamei Yu ate Tumase. So we learn out with Exeda Shavat Malahalon, just like when somebody who enters the base of Mikdash Tamei. There is the Einish of Kares, and there's also a warning of Malchus Avkan, so too when somebody eats Kodesh. Bituma, somebody who eats a Kodesh Bituma, there's the punishment of Kares, and Azhara, there's also a law that's Mechai Malchus. So the Gemara explains Machlekes of Rishlach Rabbi Yochanan. Bishleim, it's understood why Rishlach Rabbi Yochanan. Why Rishlach doesn't learn out from the same Gzeda Shabbat, because Gzeda Shabbat like Gomer. He didn't accept from his Rebbe this Gzeda Shabbat, and a person cannot make up a Gzeda Shabbat on his own. Ela Rabbi Yochanan, I tell you, only Rabbi Yochanan. Why didn't he learn like Reish Lakish? Amalach. Rabbi Yechon will answer you, Ahu, that Pascal, B'chol Kodesh Leisiga. We learn out Hazara L'Truma. Rabbi Yechon says that Pascal Leisiga is telling you for even a lighter case, a warning for Truma, somebody who eats Truma, but Truma Sagof, not Kachim. Truma, that he has, there's a warning for that. And the Gemara says, Reish Lakish, Hazara L'Truma Minalei. Where does he learn out that Hazara for Truma, that for somebody who eats the truma betumas haguf, that he's not allowed? And for the Gemara Nafkelei, he learns it out from Meish Mizera Aaron Utzuru Eizav Bakadoshim Lo Yochal. And what is kadoshim? What does it mean? He shouldn't eat kadoshim. From the words ish, it's mashma that the Isser is applicable to all the children of the Kohen, whether it's males or females. So Hakoch, this pasuk is dealing with Truma. What is something that's equal for all children that they could eat? That's mutar b'chol zarei shalad nakayin. Whether it's chanim and akevas, it's only Truma, because by kachim for sure not. The women cannot have, and not every case, even a kachim kalim, could the women have. So it must be referring to Truma, and that's where Reish Lakish learns out that's out of a Truma. Vidach Rabbi Yochanan, what does he learn out from the pasuk ish mizera ane, from the double ish ahula achila v'hala negia. Rabbi Yochanan says the pasuk ish tells us the is of eating Truma, and the pasuk of the Chol Kodesh Leisiga is telling us about touching Truma. In fact, the Gemara Reish Lakish, hi, this Chol Kodesh Leisiga lahachi u'da'asa is coming to warn for eating Kodesh. He needs it letami shanaga b'bsar Kodesh. He needs it for a tamei who touches the b'sar of Kodesh, not for eating Kodesh. The Hitman that we learned tamei shanaga b'Kodesh, a tamei that touched Kodesh. Shlach shema leika, but if you claim ain't a leika. We learned the machlek is a tamei touching Kodesh. Shlach said he gets malchus, and Rabbi Yochanan says he doesn't. Shlach shema leika. Shlach says he gets malchus because it says b'chol Kodesh leisiga. So you see, he learns about touching Kodesh from b'chol Kodesh leisiga. Rabbi Yochanan ain't leika, he doesn't get malchus, because the hasara is not for that. Ahu, the pasuk of b'chol Kodesh leisiga is hasara l'truma udasa. It's coming to warn for touching truma, not on touching kachim. So we have a kasha Reish Lakish. How did he say that? We learn out from this pasuk for it's a warning for eating Kodesh. We learn over here the hasara. Reish Lakish says the hasara of b'chol Kodesh leisiga is going on negia, on touching. And the Gemara Thomas Shanag Makidish Reish Lakish learns that mid'apke rachmana b'lashon negia. From this that the Torah used the isa achila b'lashon leisiga v'hasara la'ichal. We learn out from this pasuk because the itkish kodesh lemikdash. He says we compare kodesh to the entering of the mikdash tamei. Shlama, like it says in the pasuk by the pasuk of kodesh, it says chol kodesh leisiga, and by mikdash it says well mikdash leisavik. And we learn out ma mikdash that somebody who enters the mikdash b'truma, he has the warning of chiyuv kares. So too, when it talks about the chol kodesh leisiga, we're talking about it such as hara, which it has a chiv of kares, similar to entering in the mikdash. What kind of asara will there be a chiv of kares? Obviously, it can only be referring to achila, because benegia we don't find that the Torah is mechayiv kares. So the Gemara asks again, "Hakate hachiv da'asa." Are we saying it that the lashon of the Negia is coming to teach us about achila? Ahu, that lashon of Negim in Baile, we need it l'tam shachar b'sar kodesh lefnei six adam. We need it for a tummy who ate b'sar kodesh even before the blood was sprayed. The itman that we learned in the base medrash, tam shachar b'sar kodesh lefnei six adam. A tummy that ate the b'sar kodesh before spraying the blood, Reish Lakish ain't a leika. Even if it was before six adam, Reish Lakish says he gets malchus. Rabbi Yochanan ain't a leika. Rabbi Yochanan said he doesn't get malchus. Reish Lakish ain't a leika. Reish Lakish says he gets malchus because it says b'chol kodesh leisiga. So from this that the Torah use siga for the isa achila, use leisiga for the isa achila, implies the isa achila, even of the isa achila kodesh, even though there was no heta of achila, meaning that the blood hasn't been sprayed, and it was only fit for negia. That's how he learns the Mishnah. But the chol kodesh leisiga, it was at a stage that you could only touch it and not eat it. So we can learn out. So we learn out the Isav Achila before Zika from this pasuk. It does make a difference, according to Reish Lakish, that it's Azhar of even before Zika that you're not allowed to eat it, and it doesn't make a difference whether it's before or after Zika. If he was tummy before, that he can't even eat the meat before the Zika. Rabbi Yochanan ain't a loika. He doesn't get malchus if it's before the Zika. Rabbi Yochanan tamei. Rabbi Yochanan goes like his shita. The Amakra, Tumasa, we learn how to say the Shabbat from entering in the base of the Shtami. And the Chiksiv Tumasa, Achasikiv Ksiv. When it says Lashon Tumasa, it's referring to after the Zika. But before on a basa that was before the Zika, we don't have a limud. That's why it's part of a Malkus. We only have because Kamase talks about only Alacha Zika. But the Sikum, after you look on the picture, what the Shita Rish Lakish is Akasha Rish Lakish. How does Rish Lakish say? From the Lashon Negi, we learn out a warning for touching by Kodesh. If you needed a pasuk for Achab Sakedesh before Zika, you needed that pasuk for Achab Sakedesh before Zika. And we just learned that according to Eish Lakish, we concluded that from the whole Kodesh Sigam that it's talking about Achila, which there's Achi of Kares. And the only time that Achila is going to be Achi Akaras is after the blood was sprayed. So how did Eish Lakish learn from the Asara from this pasuk, even for Pesach Kiddush that was before the Zik Zadam? And the Gemara explains that he learns out from the pasuk even for Pesach Kiddush before the Zrika Mibechol Kodesh Nafka. The Torah could have written that Kodesh Leisiga. From this, that the Torah added the word Kol Bechol. The Eish Lakish learns out that the Torah is coming to include even the Hazara Latame that ate Kodesh before Zik Zadam. It's like the Gemara brings up Rayas, that's a Rayat Eish Lakish, that Hazara's Tame, the warning of Tame that ate Kodesh. We learn out from the Chol Kodesh Leisiga. So he says, Tanya Kabba say, we learned from the Brayas, like the Eish Lakish, the Chol Kodesh Leisiga. It says, in all Kodesh you shouldn't touch. Hazara Eichel, it's a Tame that eats Kodesh. Or perhaps in Al Azhara Lenoyam. So the Bryce it brings up the Shaila, is this Azhara for a Tamid that ate Kodesh, or perhaps it's Azhara for only a Tamid that touches Kodesh, like which implies from the Pashta Pshat and the Pasik. Tamid Lechol Kodesh Leisiga Ve'lamikis Ve'gaima Leisave Makish. The Pasik compares the Isser that says by Kodesh to the Isa Lemigdash, to the Isa of entering into the Migdash. Ma Lemigdash, just like by Migdash, the entering into the Migdash, Betumas Hagof is Davash Eish by Natilas Neshama. There is the punishment of Kares, which means Natilas Neshama. Avkel, so too, the Isa that said Benya Kodesh is Davash Eish by Natilas Neshama. Is a Dava that is talking about a case of Kares. The Ibn Agiyah. And if over here we're talking about just touching Me'ikin Natilas Neshama, is there the punishment of Kares? We know there's no punishment of Kares. A Tamish Hanoi Sarah Kodesh, she's not Chayiv Kares. The pasuk that's Mechayiv Kares, the Gemara brought earlier on, is talking about a Tamish Achal Kodesh. We don't find the Chiyuv of Kares by Negei B'Mikdash.